with Nashville Nutritarian, February 16th, 2019 in Nashville, Tennessee, and this is part 5 called basically just snooping around my kitchen. And so 3 people live here, me, my wife, and my daughter. And my daughter's 18 and she's on a different diet than me, and my wife's a lot healthier than me, so she doesn't have to be as restrictive as I have to be. And so she's on a different diet than I am. So we're just going to walk you around the kitchen, and I'll explain some of the things that we all eat. And hopefully the idea is to have, to get 1 or 2 good ideas, you know, whatever your next step is in your health journey. To find something, well, hey, I haven't eaten that in a long time, and hey, I could start eating this. And this sort of fits in with the first 4 parts. So I will start by walking over to this shelf over here. And so what I do is I eat a lot of apples. You know, you have these organic apples. They're really good. I eat oranges. And I also like to eat the plantains. They're really good food. And I like them raw if they're really ripe enough. They're really yummy. And then we eat, we ripen in tomatoes. It's February 16th, so, you know, there's not a lot of good. This is like the worst time of year to be eating a natural diet from the garden. And
in this climate.
In this climate in the northern hemisphere in Nashville, Tennessee. And so, you know, we're sort of running on fumes here, but you're still able to get all you need. And I've been thriving and doing really well. And then I get a lot of stuff in here. And these are sunflower seeds. They're not expensive. They're super caloric, so they fill you up. And then at Britannia Market down on Edmondson Pike, I get these organic apricot kernels, which are they're basically almonds. They're in the almond family, but they're organic. At the same market, I get, and there are awesome folks down there, Yvonne, Pashang, and Ray. And they're all really healthy. They lift and stuff, and they're athletic. These are mulberries, 2 different kinds. And you put these out instead of like Skittles or M&Ms, and they're really healthy, and they're really good, and everyone raves about them. And then these are sunflower seeds.
Just pumpkin seeds.
Oh, sorry, pumpkin seeds, and they're really good. And they sell them at the biggest supermarkets here in town. And then we've also got my friends Pashang and Ray and Yvonne hooked me up with these wonderful foods. These are figs, and they're awesome, and they're so good. And these are apricots, dried apricots. They're absolutely delicious. And so when you're having a sugar, oh, and there's something else here. When you're having a sugar craving, these are jujubes. They grow in Tennessee. I've got trees. They're small now, but I'm growing jujube. And then there's dates. I've got these medjool dates. They're really good. And then I have nutritional yeast, which is a flavor enhancer. And it's healthy. You can put it on popcorn or rice or anything. And, you know, it's not salty. So if you're on a low-salt diet, that's really good. I have popcorn, which I don't eat anymore because of my arthritis, but seems to help if I don't eat this kind of food. But just air pop popcorn is really good food, and you put the all sorts of stuff on it. I'll go as I go around. I'll show that to you. Nuts. Nuts are really good, and you buy these after the holidays, and they're like 99 cents for a huge bag. You know, down from $10. And so there's pecans, there's walnuts, there's Brazil nuts, and there's filberts. And a lot of these nuts will grow in Tennessee. I'm growing a lot of these. The trees are small still. And then we'll go around to the pantry right here. And so these are all different kinds of foods. And, you know, what does it look like? It looks like food from a garden, right, as opposed to food from a factory. So you got flax seeds, and you've got, I can't pronounce that, couscous. And it's just retooling. You know, it's like, it's not that hard. You got brown rice. You've got all sorts of cardamom, fenugreek, and all sorts of dried foods, beans, and really easy to store. I built this little shelf. And then in here we've got all sorts of all sorts of things. This is really good to put on a popcorn. You can buy it in a spray bottle. It's Bragg's amino acids. It's like a soy sauce. You know, if you got kids and stuff, Tabasco sauce, everyone loves. It's got a lot of salt in it. I don't have it, but a lot of my family has this. You got some hot peppers I grew in the garden, and you know, it just goes on and on. And you know, a lot of lentils. Lentils are a big deal if you're an athlete. A lot of protein. You can sprout these or cook these. And then we'll go to the fridge, and I'll show you the haul in here. So basically, this I bought last night after the basketball game, after the glorious victory of Ravenwood, and we went to Whole Foods, and so I hadn't put this into the plastic tubs, but it goes. I put it in the plastic tubs and I stack it so it stays fairly fresh. And then these are dates. These are unbelievable. And again, the sugar is bound to the fiber, so it's not as you know, it's not as drug-like. It doesn't hit the dopamine receptors so quickly. It's still very sweet, but if you're going to cheat, at least you do something. You know, if you're going to be naughty, then you know, it's best to do it in a healthier way. So you know, we buy a lot of this stuff in the winter. Now in the summer, I don't have to buy any of this, but I like the containers to use throughout the year. And again, I know it's plastic; it's not the best thing. This is a really amazing food. This is a young Thai coconut. Unbelievable. You know, if you're coming off of, you know, hot dogs and hamburgers, this is your friend. And then also so that's it for the fridge. We'll go to the freezer. Oh, avocados are a big one. Avocados are huge. A lot of calories. So instead of a hot dog or a hamburger or, you know, piece of steak, you can have one or two of these, and you'll be full. And I know, you know, you put them on bread instead of butter. Just spread it on like butter. If you're used to bread and butter, toast and butter. And then that brings me to the freezer. Did I leave anything out here?
No.
So
You might want to point out the sauerkraut.
Oh, the sauerkraut, yes. So, you know, what happens is,
Right there.
yeah, this is my wife makes this. She's Melanie. She's awesome, and this is full of probiotics, and so that, you know, remember you're eating to help the microbiome and the organisms in your gut flourish. Well, this is perfect for that. And so in here we have some kinds of bread. Now, one of the big breads we like is the Ezekiel bread, which is here, and we buy something very similar. It's made with sprouted grains, and there's that. See? Oh, and then another big thing I forgot in the fridge is I like to eat aloe vera. Let me pull up some aloe vera.
Oh, I got to cut that up today.
I got enough for today. So we buy it fresh at Patel Brothers or Fresh and Fresh or K&S Markets, all on Nolensville Road in Nashville. And you buy it fresh. It comes in big long leaves. They're like spiky cactus things. And you fillet it and you put it in a bottle, or you eat it fresh. And that's huge for skin. If you want to look beautiful, you can put on a lot of makeup or eat aloe vera. And so you save all the money on the makeup because you look beautiful from the aloe vera. And the makeup, if you're not careful, can be quite toxic as well. So a lot of breads, some nuts. What else is here? Oh yeah, these are really, really good foods. I buy this organic frozen peas and corn, and I eat it raw. I just rinse it with hot warm water, and it's ready to eat right away. And then just various. Oh yeah, this is a really good number. So we buy the bananas on sale when they go bad in the supermarket.
Well, they're not going bad,
they're not
according
going
to us.
Yeah, they're actually ripe. And so when they're what quote unquote overripe, you peel them all and compost the peels, and you put them in a plastic bag and put them in the freezer, and you put them in this right here, which is a high-speed blender, and you make a delicious ice cream, and kids love it. You can get your kids, the battle here is getting the kids to eat it. And then this is for a little more of the hardcore folks like me who have arthritis and have a lot of trouble with things like all sorts of things. If you're or athletes. So this is a sprouted lentil. And so in about 2 days, the lentil starts to sprout, or a day. And they're tasty, but they're absolutely loaded with nutrition and protein. And so I sprout that. I sprout my greens like that. And so they start out like this, and they go to this. And one of the great things about sprouting is you sort of get your garden fix. In the middle of winter, I like to be out in the garden and be growing things in the garden. But I can't because it's too cold, but I can grow things in the kitchen. And then a really great one is fenugreek. So it starts out like this, and then it starts to be like that. And it's really tasty, and this is really important for older men and the support of testosterone. And then there's mung beans, which are sprouted all the time in Asian cultures. And so instead of cooking the beans, you just soak them. And then they have screen tops, so every morning and every evening I just come and rinse everything. I soak them overnight, standing up like this, and then and there's lots of videos on this. But this is a major part of my diet, and I grow it myself. And the funny thing about this is it's incredibly fresh because it's growing. So there's actually no time from garden to mouth. It just goes right from the garden into my mouth. And so you really get a lot of the nutrition that you would otherwise lose if the food's being transported and packaged and processed. And so I think sprouts, now I learned about sprouting from the Hippocrates Institute. And it's a great organization that they sell all the kits and the seeds and everything. And it's a phenomenal way to live. So most of my calories will actually probably today come from these sprouts, especially the chickpeas. And I buy these organic at Patel Brothers, and they have a wonderful smell when they're just right. And sprouting gets a bad name because people say that you can get a lot of germs from sprouting things, and you do create a lot of germs because these organisms are rampant in here. And they say not to sprout because it's one of the greatest vectors for like certain kinds of organisms like salmonella and stuff. But I don't listen to that because those people give me that information generally are not very healthy people. They want to sterilize everything. They don't understand how the microbiome and the assimilation of nutrition works. And so they're basically being left out of the party. So the party's right here with the sprouts. If you want to be healthy and you want to get all that protein and you want to lift weights and you want to run faster and jump higher and be a better athlete and be a better elderly person, whatever it is you're doing, you want to build muscle, you're going to get it right here. And I tell you, these beans are packed. And you can cook the beans and you can cook the lentils and do all that. And we have a great device for doing that over here. But and it's called the Instant Pot. And this is the new fast food, folks. This is a robotic automated pot. It's like a crock pot, but it's automated. So you can set this to cook rice in like 15 minutes. It's quicker than you could get the local Chinese restaurant to deliver, what you need. You can have it done in the kitchen. And you can have it programmed. You can communicate with it over the internet. I mean, it just does all sorts of things. So, this is a really great way, for you moms, or dads that cook for large families. I think we own 3 of these. And we have a party. We set these up. And it's good, healthy food for all our friends and all our family. And we're not going to degrade the health of our family because people are used to a certain diet. We can cater for them. We're going to have great bean dishes, great rice dishes, all sorts of really great food, and have it quickly and effectively. And that's a really good tool, and it's a new tool. Another great tool is the Vitamix, the high-speed blender, and then there's the water distiller. These are all new tools that are not expensive. You can buy them refurbished, you can buy them used, you can buy them on, Craigslist. And so that's the tour of the kitchen. And another great thing I like to eat, I'm going to go back over here, I just noticed it, is butternut squash. So I cut this, and I've already taken the top off this, but I have like hundreds of pounds of these in my basement. They grow like weeds, and they're wonderful. And so they're live food, and you can buy these and cut them. You can cook them. You can eat them raw. They're really good. And so yeah. So I know a lot of these foods are kind of weird, and they're unusual, and they're not what you're used to. But it's so easy to change over, and it takes like 3 to 5 days to break food addictions. When you start pouring these healthy foods into your life, you're going to have a lot more energy, a lot more strength. You're going to have a lot more time to do more healthy things, and it sort of snowballs and builds. It's an upward spiral instead of a downward spiral. So thanks for watching our video. I hope you have a few good ideas. Take care. Bye-bye.